Oh, can't wait to get back. Anyway, last train of the day. Can't be that bad. Get this lot shipped off to Nabford, and then we'll what's going on over there? What are those two idiots up to this time? You know, a part of me wants to ask, but I don't think I'm going to, since it's you two. Maybe it's better if you don't. I mean, that hunk of junk's been in the sortings for about going on a good 40 or so years now. We've only just had a chance to move it, since essentially it's past its prime. Oh, it's not like you two to show emotion. Anyways, I better be off. Have a safe night, you two, and don't stay out in the snow too long. It could do horrible things to an engine. Oh, that is not pleasant. Let's get out of here quick. Oh. Hey, driver. Do you feel like we're, I don't know, being followed or watched? I don't feel alone out here. Pay no attention to it. It's just the snow. It does this to your mind when it's a nice eerie night. Don't worry about it. Come on. There's Nabford. I'll put these trucks in the siding and then I'm going straight to the sheds. I really hate this feeling. Why do all trains have to be cancelled? There's no one in the yards, there's nothing, it's so spooky. Anyway, job done, time to go, let's go rest, now, please, I don't want to be here anymore. Evening, Thomas. Is everything alright? You look rather shaken. Did something happen out there? I guess you could say that. I mean, coming back from the scrapyard, I felt like I was being followed. Like someone was nearby or watching me. As I left, I heard the most horrible groaning metal sound. It was honestly quite disturbing. Maybe it was all in my head. First Jack Frost, and now groaning metal. What the bloody hell's gonna be next? Soon you're gonna tell me you're afraid of the snow? That's enough, James. Thomas has right reason to be afraid of the snow. Every engine does. In fact, I remember an engine that, well, chose to not be afraid of the snow, and in fact thought he was better than it. Unfortunately, it ended up killing him. The tale is quite gruesome, actually. Happened around 40 years ago. I don't recall something happening around that time. Then again, I wasn't on the island. Would you care to explain, Edward? Yeah, I don't remember that either. Do you mind telling the story? Well, you do deserve to know. Alright, I'll tell it, but as I said, it's gruesome. This tale began, well, a couple of years after the railway was built. A couple of years after I came to Sodor. Around 40 years ago now. Back then I was, well, wise but younger. Still, I knew the importance of a railway, and I knew that snow was not its friend. However, there was someone on our line that did not know that lesson. Well, at least not yet, anyway. I can't believe I'm having this conversation with you again. Where is your snowplow? You were asked to wear it as all of us were. Why aren't you? Because snowplows are a waste of time. They slow us down. The express is meant to be fast. One of the many reasons you should be wearing one. If you run into a snowdrift at the speeds you travel, you will crash. And I can't imagine the damages and death it will cause. Why should I listen to you? You don't have any evidence to back that claim up. You're just a tin old pot. There's my proof. Even heavy goods engines know to wear their snowplow. You see, that is supposed to be the fast goods service to Vickerstown. And they are still wearing their snowplow. Yes, but they're goods engines. They're meant to, you moron. I am Express. I don't have time for a silly little piece of metal. Good day. I'm tired of having the same damn conversation with him. He's never gonna learn. Though, I hope he does. If he doesn't, there's a high chance that the next place he'll be going is the scrapyard, and not on the next prestigious express. I'd only wished I'd been wrong. Later that night he was asked to take the last passenger service before Christmas. And as you can expect, it did not go well. After he left Natford, he was making good time. He didn't really seem to be bothered by the snow, despite not wearing a snowplow. However, that wouldn't be the case for long. As he began to approach Marin, he applied his brakes. Now, it's unclear why, being the most recent steam engine, but his brakes just couldn't grasp the rails. He began speeding up, shooting down the line like a bullet. And sadly, there was no way to stop him now. I was waiting at Wellsville for the last train to lower Sodor. I had no idea until he raced through the station. In a flash, he darted down the Brendan branch. He wasn't meant to be down there, so the tracks weren't meant to support his weight. Worst of all, the line he was on was still under construction. You can only imagine what happened next. The station at the end of the branch had heard about the runaway and had diverted him onto a siding. They just didn't know how fast he was really going. And everyone inside that poor train was unfortunately killed. Those who weren't killed from immediate impact burned to death in the fiery remains. I was dispatched early morning with the breakdown train. Another engine was already there. But I had no idea how bad it really was. I'll never, ever forget the sight I saw. His whole body was frozen over. Icicles hung from his boiler, his tender, even his face. The rock he'd crashed into had completely frozen solid, instead of the soft mud everyone thought it would have been. It looked like his boiler had been dented inwards. Clearly, there had been a fire, or at least an explosion, but due to the freezing temperatures it subdued it, causing it to contort and form those twisted icicles. It was honestly one of the worst sights I've ever seen. And this is coming from an engine who survived 2 world wars. It was like a twisted art sculpture. But there was no denying he was dead. I had to take his remains to the scrapyard. All the time I did, his body groaned and creaked as if the metal was still cooling down. If he'd have only listened, he would have survived. Although, many workmen from the scrapyards will tell you they think he had. At least, not in his physical form. They say that if you work late at the scrapyard, and you hear the sounds of groaning metal, clanking rods, and what sounds like light whispering. It is the lost soul of winter. I do believe he survived. I believe he's seeking comfort, knowing that the accident, while wasn't his fault, that he at least tried. And someone forgives him. But no one has seen him, no one has heard his spirit in a long time. So what you're saying is, he was following me, watching me. That's how I felt. No, I'm saying that it's a possibility. Only you can decide that. But let me give you a word to the wise. The supernatural, while how temptive it may be, it is not something to mess with. Some prefer to believe that it does exist, others do not. You can't expect everyone to believe that invisible people cause trouble or like scaring others. Supernatural is not something I will definitely say exists. I'm a skeptic. However, that does not mean there aren't things that can't be explained. Maybe he was there, maybe he wasn't. You decide. Good night, Thomas. Merry Christmas. I know you can hear me. I just wanted to say that I'm really sorry for what happened to you. Yeah, you made mistakes, but we all have, and none of us deserve that fate. Not one of us. So I wanted to tell you that I forgive you. That even though you did wrong, you're forgiven by someone. Find your rest now. There's no use on stirring it any longer. Good night, lost winter soul, and Merry Christmas.